Kindly, Pastor Godfrey, put the picture. Disclaimer, the picture that you're about to see is graphic. So if you cannot bear, you can move forward. Can you all see this? Can you see this? This is called ignorance. Put the other one. For the legs, for the feet, sorry. For the feet. You see this? Is it clear? These are the same feet. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Now this is a Christian that has decided I'm no longer going to be ignorant. Do you see there is a difference? Now put the plate. I hope it's clear. Can you see that? Is a plate of is a plate of I want to tell you about the feet that you have seen there. Those are my feet. Praise the Lord. That is my testimony. And I overcame by diet. I had what we call chronic arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. It affects your joints, your ligaments, and it eats you slowly. I know of a lady who my mom was looking after. She had rheumatoid arthritis and she was eaten. She thinned like a person with AIDS and she died. Her name was Ruth. Rheumatoid arthritis is lethal. I had that. And I was sharing on Facebook how I remember I was in so much pain. I would cry, machozi inaisha. The pain of arthritis. You cannot sit, because if you sit, it has eaten your joints uko ndani. So there is no fluid so you cannot walk, you cannot close your fist, you cannot do anything. That thing ate me. And I remember I would feel pain. Ningepiga nduru, my family was used to that. Unasikia pain, it's extreme, it's beyond. I would scream, I would hold on my bed, I would hold on my mattress, I would hold on my anything that I had, and I would just ask, Lord, take me. The pain was too much to bear. Nakumbuka, I used to go for doctors' visits. Magoti imejaa fluid. Inaitwa FS something. It used to swell inatoshana hivi. And and now there is no movement. Imekuwa kama jiwe because of the fluid. So the only thing to do is to go and remove that fluid. And what happens is the kneecap and the bone. So the fluid is in this. The inflation is equal. Sunona in kneecap. Sunona, you can play with your kneecap. And then there is this bone. Then there is space here. So that is where the fluid will accumulate. So I would go and I would be injected a needle, a very long needle, and they would inject, alafu iyo needle ikiguza that cup or the bone. Hey, they used to hold me, nurses, doctor, my mom, my brother, they used to hold me, kila mtu anashika mahali, because now I feel pain. Then ukifanya hivi, iyo shindano inakuguza that kneecap or bone. Then they insert the needle, they remove the fluid, they remove the needle, they pour the fluid, they do that again, they remove until I would feel pain, and inafika mahali now I say, At the same time, my joints, so it was double pain. I used to take diclofenac, 500 mg, 2, in the morning, in the afternoon, na jioni. And in between, anywhere I feel pain, I would take diclofenac. My stomach was perforated. Do you know what perforation is? Kutoboka inakuwa kama kichungi. I got ulcers because of the perforation. I used to be a chemist. I had so many easy dawa. You have worked in a hospital. I used to be with so many medicines. My stomach was finished. It was perforated completely. Niko na painkiller kama mbili, niko na sijui dawa za nini, dawa ya kutoa uric acid, sijui, they were so many. I used to hold them like this, ni kama njugu. I'm in bed, I cannot move. My brother used to come, anakuja, ananichukua, ananipeleka kwa choo. I go, I finish, he takes me back to the bedroom. I had bed sores because I could not move. I was like this. And I remember there is a time I prayed and I said, Lord, if you don't want to take me, if you heal me, I will minister your word. Christian ignorance. Then nikashikwa sasa na hiyo fungi. We went to the best professor. There is a professor in Afya Center. Very old mzee. He would mix medicine, like 4 types, and ananiambia, this go and apply. Then take this medicine. Then I've taken medicines. Me, ulcers, I don't know where ulcers went. But I was healed. I was healed rheumatoid arthritis. Now, how was I healed? I thank God. I met my mom used to work in a clinic in Thika, no, in Tumaini in Westlands called Tabibu Ministries. She was a nurse. She started keeping these broiler chickens. Then akakuja realize how these broiler chicken zinadungangwa madawa. Then they grow with sijui ni 2 weeks or 3 weeks. She noticed that and said, no, I will not sell these chickens again. But that chicken job really helped us because it would supplement her nurse job. So, and plus my dad, it would supplement and would have extra cash. It was very good. The business is very good actually. And you would find a lot of money. But now, at the expense of killing people. I'm not saying it's bad. If God has given you the grace, just do it. But she got a conviction and stopped doing nursing because those conventional medicines are lies. They don't heal. They are just there to maintain you until your death. But they don't heal you. So akaacha hizo maneno ya kuku. So she went to this place where they do herbal medicines. And I remember that time is when herbal medicine ilikuanga ni uchawi. If you hear somebody say about herbal medicine, hiyo ni uchawi. Hapo hakuna dawa. Walikuwa wakisema hiyo ni uchawi. But there's this professor, he's the late, he passed on in 2014, called Professor Manundu. Professor Manundu was blind, diabetic, so he got born again. And he would tell, sijui kama, if I can get the story right, he would tell his son just to read the word for him. And he would read and do research. He was a professor by then, a medical professor. And the knowledge, you see what Bishop is teaching us? This is from heaven. And the Lord inspired Professor Manundu. And he started doing, ukikunywa pineapple, uongeze omega oils, ufanye nini, what? And he started using them. Alikuwa akiambia kijana yake, nitengeneze, changanisha hii na hii na hii, anampea. And like that, and because diabetes had brought about blindness, a time when he was reading the Bible, he started seeing. Macho yake ikafunguka, aka-reverse. Then he started praying, reading the word. He started being committed, and that is how he started this medical practitioning at Tabibu Ministries. He reversed his diabetes. He reversed everything. High blood pressure, nini. He reversed using, you see, like there is a tablet that they made. If you take that one tablet, it's like taking 20 pineapples. You see, it's not logical. You cannot take 20 pineapples in a day. But it's in one tablet. There is this algae in the sea, a green algae, where you'd take the whole part of the sea for you to get the nutrient. So they would pick it and press it, just like the cold pressing ile, and extract this. And so that's how I started taking these medicines. And my mom would not afford them because then they were very expensive. So akaenda akaambia Dr. Manundu, I have, my son is like, hey, arthritis, hey, have you gone to the doctors? Akamwambia, we have tried all doctors. Nothing seems to work. Now, because you are a staff, we'll give you staff price. So that's how I got into that plan. But eventually, alisema my mom should not pay, and it's okay. So I was supposed to do this regime for 3 months, but I did it in 2.5 because of God's mercy, and as I was healed. I used to take vegetables. You see this Daniel fast? I used to take vegetable. I used to take cabbage juice. You blend cabbage, you blend carrot juice, you blend pineapple juice. Hizo juices zote Bishop was telling us here. You do all those things. Healthy living, and it reversed my rheumatoid arthritis. I remember when I got healed, I went to the burial of this lady called Ruth, and I looked at her. She was like a small baby. Alikuwa amekuliwa kabisa ameisha. And I was there. I cried, knowing that she died of something I had. I cried. I cried. I tried to hold myself at mini mwanaume, but I cried. Then it was a cry of sadness and joy, because in one part you feel sad, she's gone, and we tried to give her this, the nini, but it, you see, the problem is she could not fully afford this plan. So she was on and off. I remember, oh God, have mercy. I remember, should I say this? I remember we had taken her as one of us because she could not afford even food. So tungempea food na hizo madawa na kunywa. Then my mom would at times lack the money and the resources, and then you would see how she would deteriorate. Ungeona akikosa kuchukua hizi nini, unaona tu. And she succumbed to the battle and went to be with the Lord. The thing that I applaud so much is that she was born again. And I know I shall meet her in heaven. Give me James 4:17, please, as we wind up. Sorry for taking your time. But that is a testimony, and a concrete testimony of what God can do. Sister, there is nothing God cannot do for you. God is faithful. God is faithful. There is nothing He cannot do for you. He is faithful. I've seen God. This is what James 4:17 says. Anyone then who knows the good he ought to do and doesn't do it sins. Now this is the conclusion of what the Spirit asked me to share. That anyone then who knows the good he ought to do and doesn't do it sins. And we know that sin is the degradation of men. And why have I spoken of James 4:17? I remember Bishop was here talking about sugar and honey. That instead of sugar, we should take honey because honey is natural. And I was listening, and I was listening ignorantly because mi ni mtu nimetoka kufanya hiyo nini nikapona. But I love sugar. That day, I said I will never take sugar again. If it's not honey, if I can't afford honey, I'll take tea without, or take water, hot water. Sugar, when it goes to your body, have you ever seen chimneys? Nini chimneys kuna ile soot. That is how sugar happens in your veins when you consume sugar. It is sticky in your veins. And it goes like that, and it clogs your veins. That's why you have so many cases of heart attacks. The vein was clogged, you are fat imeclog, your suit ya sugar imeclog, so there is no enough air and oxygen traveling through your veins. Heart attack, stroke, and you die. Christian ignorance. Anyone then who knows the good he ought to do and doesn't do it, that is automatically sin.